Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode Kerbal Engineering, How to Build a Space Station episode 2. And in previous episode we were more focusing on the design. And as you can see, I am starting in this episode to go with the engineering. Basically, we will be taking the design as we built it in the previous episode. I will keep it in the pop-up window that you can see on your top left. And I will keep the sketch there while I am constructing this space station. This is shown in 2.5 times acceleration because it takes me a while until I find all components, and obviously that takes some time, so no need for you to actually see everything like in slow motion. So I think 2.5 times is roughly the good equivalent where you can actually still see what I'm doing, but also understand in terms of, so that we get some pacing going. Otherwise this episode would be too long. It's already 22 minutes. So I'm starting obviously with the central stack. And with the central stack, in the central stack I will be putting the liquid fuel tanks, while on the radially attached I will put everything else. And we already, as you saw, designed the RCS communication section, and now we're going for a docking area. We will have 4 docks here, as you can see on the sketch. And we will be also having an SSTO dock, a single dock that will be like a vertical one. So 4 docks here and then 1 dock at the bottom. Okay, so this is our central stack. Then we will be going for the main axle. So let's just call it Station Kerbal Refueling Station Mark 1. By the way, my kind of idea is first I will be assembling the complete station in the VAB, and then I will be breaking it into launchable components and making sure that everything is put correctly. Here is some, lights. We also want to pay attention to the lights, to the RCS, and then we'll do also some balancing, which I will be talking about a little bit later. Right now, the main focus is designing the station itself. Okay, so we have 1 liquid fuel tank, 1 dock, 3 RCS, 1 probe core, and communication section. So, by the way, this octogirder segments, I'm using a mod called Near Future Construction, I believe, because, and in case some of you have not seen episode 1, why I'm building with mods, well, obviously, I want this, I like playing with mods. I have played before, the stock version, and it's a very good game, but I already have like over 1,000 hours in stock alone, and I think 3,000 overall hours into this game, so I like the additional challenge of the mods and options that mods provide. But anyway, so as you can see, we are attaching radial attachment points, and on those attachment points we will be putting senior docking ports where we will be docking our fuel tanks. So just duplicating this, and then I'll be duplicating this whole section, flipping it around, and then put it like here. Okay, so this is like the main axle. Now time to take a docking port and flip it around, and then let's take the orange tank with liquid fuel and oxidizer. As you can see, in the main axle as well as in the vertical stack, we have enough liquid fuel to supply our LVNs, nukes, and whatever other engines we need. So then we will be putting a total of 8 orange tanks. Obviously this station should be massive, but yeah, I guess it's I like it that way. I like it to look a little bit cool. Maybe for the normal save I would opt for just 4 tanks and something smaller because I don't need that much fuel, but yeah, in this case I want it to be big because I want to show it to you guys, how you can construct something like this and then launch it, etc. Okay, so, and we are beside following the sketch. Loosely following the sketch. Then we have a xenon tanks here. Xenon gas is pretty important, as we will be, and we have a little bit glitching here and there, and hold on, let's just copy once again the tank and attach it. Good. I think that should be more than enough xenon fuel. Then I believe we have remaining lithium and carborundum. I mean, ultimately you could put any tank here that you want. This is just an example. And how we will be faring, that I will be showing a little bit later. And the goal is, as you can see, the tanks only have the ports attached to them. The goal is here to have a minimum total amount of parts. So I will be ferrying them up using the tugs, space tugs. But for simplicity reasons, I will be designing one tug per fuel tank. It's not the most efficient way, but then again, I don't want in this design series to be bothered. I mean, when it comes to, docking and redocking and undocking. So I think it's just the simplest way. Okay. Now, that being said, as you can see now the station and its tanks are complete. We want to be putting some end caps, and on those end caps we will be attaching those beautiful blanket solar panels. So I'm having some hard time aligning, so I'm pressing Alt to attach to the node only. And let's attach another one over here. Come on, dance with me, will ya, please? Once again, trying again, and come on. Yeah, got it. Nailed it. Okay, so then we want to be putting you. Just making sure it's rotated correctly, and you. And then on top of you, we will take the solar panels. And we set this blanket 500 because it's huge and it looks awesome. And then take the whole construction and just flip it on the other way around and attaching it to the station. Presto! Here you go, that's a station. I mean, obviously I will be adding a lot of small tweaks because I want to be adding a lot of SAS authority and obviously RCS thrusters, batteries, and all that jazz. So, first things first, SAS unit here. Then we want to be adding more SAS and some lights, obviously. I like to put lights here, here, here. I mean, our station needs to look pretty even if on the dark side, so. And I'm placing in radial symmetry twofold, so that means everything that's shown here, it will be shown also down. Then, let's see, where are my... Okay, here is SAS authority, and let's see. So here we have also probe cores, so we're gonna put one here, and those are gonna help us with the launching as well. One here. Oh, this is flipped for some reason. I don't know why, but okay. Attached. Great. And then we will need one here. Because each of these will be a launchable component that we will be putting into the space. And we will assemble it in the orbit. Okay. Some illumination lights. After all, we want our reflectors to illuminate the beautiful station that we are going to build. Okay, then some lights shining from below as well. Those I want to shine a little bit further, and I didn't want to take the strongest lights because they would just blind everything, so yeah. Okay. Then I want to put some omni lights here. And then I want to be putting also red and green lights because to indicate where am I docking. So this one I'll take red. This one I'll take green. Okay, and then I might copy these two above here as well. Red and green, come on. I can just copy this one. Okay, So that takes care of the lights, hopefully. Then the next thing is we want to be thinking about the RCS. First save the design and let's take care of the RCS. So where are my RCS thrusters? Let's put 4 here. And obviously I want this station to be maneuverable. It has enough thrusters or fuel, but it needs to have enough thrusters to be able to turn around, because I'm not counting on SAS authority once the station is assembled. That just simply won't work. Okay. And I think that should give the station enough move on. And let's just slap the docking port as well there. I mean, it doesn't look too pretty, but you never know. We might need to dock a tug or something here in addition. Okay, now let's put some battery, because we have no place of storing the electric charge. Okay, so this is our station as it is. Now the next thing to happen is breaking the station into the launchable components. So we take the station and we remove everything that we don't need for the first launch. Obviously I saved it under different names so I could revisit the station again. Then we want to be putting the docking ports where the previous branches were. Okay. Then we want to detach the top from the bottom. I have to split it somehow. I was initially thinking of putting it all together up, but it's not really practical. So what I will do is I will say this is the top part of the station, and I was thinking launching it like this, or actually I might actually split it at the RCS tanks. Yeah, I think so. I think that would be better. I mean, not any specific reason, but yeah, splitting it like this. So I'm gonna put the docking port senior at the bottom, and now we come to a very important thing. We need to balance each of the components individually, and for that I'm using RCS build aid. The arrows that you're seeing indicate that it will be rotating if I leave it as is when trying translation. I added RTGs because this component doesn't have its own power generation, and now I'm fiddling with RCS thrusters with their positioning to try and get rid of this rotation arrow. Because what this means, if we will be doing translation, let's say to the right, the arrow means that not only we will get translation, but our station will rotate, which makes it a little bit imbalanced and unpractical to do things. Then I'm putting a communitron, and a small communitron that will not break into the atmosphere, because we have to still launch this. And since I'm playing with remote tech, we cannot launch it with the undeployed component. Okay, that's the station top. Now we will be taking on the station bottom. So first, to do this I need to reroute it, and I have rerouted it so that the main part of this section will be the actual probe core that sits between the docking ports and the fuel tank. Once again, putting this, and this is the probe core, which is the central unit. Rerouting it once again. Okay. Fine. Then this is how we will be launching this component up. So the next thing to do is we need to think about in terms of battery. We need to think in terms of RTGs, obviously, or solar panels. We will see how it goes. This one has actually higher surface area, so instead of RTGs I might be putting the solar panels. I was thinking 2 RTGs like this, but then again I was thinking, no, actually it would be way cooler if I could put solar panels at these angles. Put them in 4-way symmetry. I mean, it's a lot more, it's a lot more parts, but still, I think it looks cool. Okay. So, one final thing to add is we need a Communitron 16, and we need another comms or Reflectron 16 just to be able to maintain connection to the KSC while we ascend. Once again, RCS build aid and rebalancing using the RCS thrusters that we move. Come on, and... oh, not here. Then I might be putting, if this doesn't work like this... oh, it works perfectly. They will go on the SAS core. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Then we want to take the components from the main axle. So this was top core and bottom core. Now we want to be taking the side components. So first we need to say, okay, this will be the main axle. And those will be the arms that are going left and right. So I'm rerouting the part to be the probe core in the middle. Let's take away all the fuel tanks, because those we will have to launch one each separately. Okay, so this is what main axle looks like, and we are putting docking port over there. Okay, so this is what we will be launching up in space and rendezvousing with the rest of the station. So what do we need here? We have solar panels, which we technically won't use until we are deployed, so we need actually, first things first, we need the battery. Okay, then we will need additional RCS fuel, because we have thrusters, but we don't have any RCS fuel to power them. So I'm thinking here I will add another RCS tank. I mean, not everything needs to be in the same place, but yeah. We need to make our life more practical when it comes to launching anyway. Okay, now we need to be thinking about one Reflectron so that we can launch it using remote tech, one Communitron that we can basically connect it, and then we need to balance it out. And as you can see, it's already perfectly balanced, which is amazing. So I don't need to do anything when it comes to balancing this component, which is great. We do need some power generation, so I will be once again taking the solar panels and putting them, where are you, here, and strategically placing them in several spots just to make sure that we get our enough solar power that we could actually dock this baby. Okay, still nothing in terms of needing to move the RCS thrusters. Beautiful. And then basically we will be launching two of these, one on each side. Perfect. Okay, so now I will be constructing the fuel tank tug together with the fuel tanks. So probe core, battery, RCS fuel, obviously mandatory. Then we want to be putting the senior docking port on top, senior docking port on the bottom as well, another docking port, and then the fuel tank, obviously. But we need to put the SAS unit here to be able to turn. We can put it over battery, some RTGs to provide the power supply, and we'll put a total of 4. Flip the docking port, and let's put an orange tank, because I like to begin with that one always. And then once again, senior docking port at the bottom. So as you can see, this is a small tug that will be taking our tanks into the orbit. Communitron, one small Communitron to be able to communicate with Kerbal Space Center as we launch things. Great. And then we need one Reflectron to be able also to launch it. Okay, and now we need RCS thrusters. So I'll just move this one here because I like my RCS thrusters to be nicely positioned. So We put 4 of them here, and now I'm using small cubic octagonal strut to place girders, which is the reason why these tugs will be super reusable, but like I said, I'm just too lazy to launch and then dock and redock. But if you look at it like this will make a cage for the tank. So if you need to dock with the tank, you just dock with the tank and just chauffeur it around the space station. So this is station Kerbal orbital refueling tank with LFO. Perfect. Now we balance it out, and the beautiful thing with this is that you can just slide the RCS thrusters top and bottom, and then just, or add more until you get 0 rotational moment on the main tank. Great. So now if you want another tank, you just replace the LFO tank with, let's say, Xenon. Yep, and then put a docking port on the bottom, and then reposition the thrusters so that, once again, to minimize the rotation torque. Okay, rename it to Xenon. Next. Lithium. Same procedure as with the last one. PAP. Works a little bit, moving to even reduce the translational element. Great. Save. And then we have, I believe the last one is Kerbal. And those tanks are a little bit trickier to find. I need to look via Umbra Space Industries. Yeah, here. And those are obviously, we are usually launching empty because Kerbal is hard to fuel to find. Okay, this will be the last tank that we will be constructing. And with that, I will be saying to you, thank you very much for watching this engineering episode, and in the next one we will be creating boosters that will be taking this to orbit and testing everything, obviously. So, if you like the episode, hit subscribe for more episodes to come, and until next episode, thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off.